Hello, beautiful dragons. I am your host Heather, and welcome to the first Rank That series. Today we are going to rank A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, or a quarter, a quota, or a court. I don't know what the community calls the book series. We're doing a court, a quota, whatever. We're doing that series. I do have to pre-warn everyone, because I know that I'm still triggered by this. I don't have matching covers. I started reading this series just before they changed the covers. So I've got 2 that are the original and 2 that are the new ones, and we're just going to have to deal with it. Another note, I am not including A Court of Frost and Starlight in this ranking. Anyone who has read this book knows why. Where exactly it will be placed if it is included in this list. And to me, this book is like a Christmas DLC or a Christmas side story, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really do much for the main plot and is just like a little Christmassy themed story based in the universe. So this one is
disqualified.
I don't know if you call it disqualified. It's not in the ranking. I think that covers everything. So let's start. I'm going to try and keep this spoiler free. And we'll see how that goes. At the moment, this is spoiler free. If that changes, I will indeed make it clear that it is not spoiler free anymore. So, let's start. In third place, I am putting the starter of the series, A Court of Thorns and Roses itself. Readers know why this one is in number 3. I don't think I need to explain it. Do I really need to explain it? Okay, I'll explain after I read the blurb. Feyre is a huntress. She thinks nothing of slaughtering a wolf to capture its prey. Nothing of slaughtering a wolf to capture. I just realized that. I'm sorry. I'll start again. She thinks nothing of slaughtering a wolf to capture its prey. But, like all mortals, she fears what lingers mercilessly beyond the forest. And she will learn that taking the life of a magical creature comes at a high price. Imprisoned in an enchanted court in her enemy's kingdom, Feyre is free to roam, but forbidden to escape. Her captor's body bears the scars of fighting, and his face is always masked. But his piercing stare draws her ever closer, as Feyre's feelings for Tamlin begin to burn through every warning she's been told about his kind, an ancient, wicked shadow grows. Feyre must find a way to break a spell, or lose her heart forever. Very dramatic. It's very dramatic. And also, it's first an epic new fantasy trilogy from #1 New York Times best-selling author of Throne and Glass series, if anyone's interested about that. Yes, this one is at number 3. It's very hard to explain why without spoiling, but I never really liked Tamlin anyway as a romantic interest. I mean, it's not really giving much. I didn't really like him. There's just something so off about him, and I know he's just either not my type. He's just no is all I have to say. Just no. I really think this book really gets interesting to me at the halfway point. Even though I can't say why, because then there'll be spoilers. But yes. I also, though, do believe you kind of have to read this book before you can read the rest of the series. You can't just jump into the second book without first reading this. But yes, this book is still at number 3. In position number 2, it was very hard. It was kind of hard to decide between them, but then I really thought about why I like number 1 so much. So, I'm so sorry for everyone that's triggered. For number 2, I've got A Court of Wings in Ruin.
My God!
I know. So, in number 2, I have A Court of Wings in Ruin. I like this book. I do. I loved seeing the different courts and the different High Lords. But there was something missing in this book that I liked from the second one. And that's why I kind of had to put it here. I mean, the fighting, the like big battle scenes were kind of a little bit of a letdown in terms of battle scenes, I suppose. But then this book isn't really about these books aren't really about the battle scenes. It's about pretty much about the romance. It's pretty much a romance in a fantasy world is what's going on here. So, yeah, that's why. I mean, it's also, I mean, it's mentioned throughout. There's also kind of a little bit of a Deus Ex Machina situation towards the end. But, you know, I still enjoyed it to a degree. It's very thick. It's a very thick book. I can't read the blurb of this book without there being spoilers. So, there you have it. Just Court of Wings and Roses at number 2. So, that leaves for the number 1 slot, of course, A Court of Mist and Fury. I think a lot of people agree with me in this. I know that there are many people who have the unpopular opinion considered, quote unquote. You can have whatever opinions you want. I have A Court of Mist and Fury at number 1. And no, it is not because of chapter 55. Alright? There are many other things to this book besides chapter 55.
What's chapter 55?
You don't get to know what chapter 55 is. It's something to do with these lovely bookmarks that I've put in. So I like this one. I know some people may disagree with me, and I haven't gone through trauma or PTSD to the extent of some people, but the cover of the subject of PTSD and the reaction to trauma, how that's covered in this, and kind of recovering and finding out who you are again and moving beyond the trauma is what I really like about this book. But there is also chapter 55 as well. That's not the biggest selling point, but it's up there. What are you doing? Did I mention chapter 55? Yes, I did. But that's why I like this book. That is why I like this book. The subject matter of mental health. And I'm sure there are definitely other books that have done it better, but I'm just ranking this series, and that is my opinion on these books. So yeah, that's pretty much. I'm not saying that these books are amazing. I know, there are a lot of people in the community that do think they're amazing, and there are a lot of people that don't. And it's all down to your opinion. I've recently gotten into these books because of Tumblr and other varying book communities. I saw people talking about it. I'm like, I want to know what this is so I can look at spoiler stuff. And I read them and I like them, but I don't think they're amazing. There are a lot of problems in them, especially in terms of like representation and things like that. But that can be covered in a different video. Right now, this is just ranking. I have given you my ranking. Tell me if you agree or you disagree. I kept it very spoiler free, I hope. From the sounds of it, I did. I haven't mentioned any love interest. I haven't mentioned the plots of the stories or anything. It's a very simple ranking. I mean, if you want a more detailed one, sure, let me know. Again, let me know if you want a detailed explanation for things, to go into the nitpicky bits and stuff like that. Before anyone gets onto me, I will mention Silver Flames is not here. 1, because I haven't read it yet, and 2, Silver Flames kind of moves on from Feyre's story, from what I know. This trilogy / side story is Feyre's, and that's what this is looking at. This is Feyre's story. So I'm sure she's going to release more books anyway. So I'm sure I will cover Silver Flames at another point anyway. But that's the ranking, like I said. Leave your thoughts in the... Yeah. Subscribe to join the party. Booty slap that like button with consent. And leave your comments in the dungeons below. Please, tell me in the dungeons. Do it. Thank Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Love and light. I wish to start again.
You hear that one? Start again.
Right.